Hi, this is D. Knight. Today I want to talk a little bit about Trump's attacks on migrants. I'm going to read something from my memoir, My Whirlwind Lives, that I wrote back during Trump's first presidency. The current horrors and scandals of Trump's cruelty and racism toward immigrants have made it easier for many to see some deeper realities. Immigrants from Europe in past centuries invaded the Americas in the name of God and their favorite national identity, then justified their slaughter and genocide of the people who lived here as a manifest destiny to take over and rule the Americas, either by killing off or civilizing those who stood in their way. The so called Indians, indigenous people who occupied this land for millennia, lost essentially everything. A recent New Yorker article offers a refreshing admission. Now seems like a good moment to admit that we don't know what we are talking about when it comes to immigration. The article says the Trump administration has succeeded in framing the debate as one between supporters of enforcing immigration now, supporters of enforcing immigration law, and supporters of open borders. Arch racist Jeff Sessions is quoted, "I don't think there is a scriptural basis that justifies any idea that we must have open borders in the world today." The article goes on to say Trump declared the Democrats want open borders. Sadly, this is not true. No voice audible in the American political mainstream is making the argument for open borders. Socialists make that argument. We say there are no borders in the workers' struggle. En la lucha obrera no hay frontera. We answer the Christian Ku Kluxer Sessions that we don't need a scriptural justification for open borders. Imperialism did it for us. It was imperialism that blasted open all the borders in all the countries in the world. Old-fashioned gunboat diplomacy a la Teddy Roosevelt, who was fond of saying, "Speak softly but carry a big stick," assured that American commerce, American values, i.e., dollars, and American norms would be both welcome and dominant in all countries, first and foremost in those of our America. There really have been no borders that had to be respected by U.S. imperialism. That remains true today. An exception that proves the rule is the artificial 38th parallel border separating North and South Korea, imposed by the U.S. military in 1953 and defended today by one of the largest U.S. occupation forces in the world. Many people have been hurt by imperialism's open borders. Recently, millions have had to abandon their homes and their countries for dear life in the wake of U.S. wars of regime change in Libya, Sudan, Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, and Somalia. In Latin America, over the last century, the U.S. imperialist open borders policy has caused millions of refugees of all types to flee their own countries. Endless violence and insecurity, all of it caused by imperialist domination, has forced people to flee for their own survival. In the case of Mexicans in the southwestern United States, many were either staying in or fleeing to land that was historically theirs. That's a major reason that Trump and his followers are so hysterical about terrorizing them and driving them out. Refugees and migrants of all types go to the source of their problem, the USA or the Western European imperialist countries, where the profits from their country's exploitation have generated prosperity. But imperialist prosperity is waning and fading. Rich countries could, in past decades, absorb a lot of their former colonials, but their economies are shaky now, so the search for scapegoats and victims has intensified. In all the imperialist countries, the migrants and refugees of imperialist pillage and war are now being excluded or rounded up and driven out. So it is in the USA, and Trump has cheered on his populist buddies to do the same in Europe. What is this about? It's really about the decline of empire, accompanied by a frantic effort to blame it all on the refugees and migrants. When viewed in this light, Trump's vicious and racist attacks on immigrants and refugees are no less brutal and criminal, but they can be seen more objectively for what they are: one more manifestation of the demise of a dying system. The tasks of anti imperialists remain the same: to defend the victims and scapegoats, and to do whatever we can to hasten this murderous system's demise. That's from My Whirlwind Lives, Navigating Decades of Storms. It's an award winning memoir that has a very nice endorsement from my friend Medea Benjamin, and you can get it wherever good books are sold or available. Thank you very much. See you next time.